Hi guys, it's Fally again. Sorry I haven't been too active on YouTube lately, but it has a good reason. I have had a lot of dental work done, and now I actually look pretty decent for camera. Anyway, so I was going to go into a little bit about what helps me get through everything, what mentalities I use to get through everything, and so cheerfully and positively. Um, I just basically try to make the best of a bad situation. Um, I have, we all have our issues, and I understand that. And a couple of philosophies that I have adopted or developed um, through this trip on the merry-go-round. No matter what the outcome is, it'll be okay. So even if absolutely the worst thing happens to you, there are good things that can come of it. And here's what I mean. Like, okay, we'll take a time in my life um, to to better understand this method of thinking. Um, I'm going to take an experience of my life that happened to me last July, and explain it, and then hopefully maybe you'll see that even if the worst thing happens, it happens. My belief structure is that everything happens for a reason. No matter what the outcome is, everything's going to be okay. Um, I don't believe. I totally, thoroughly do not believe in self-harm. um, Cutting or anything that brings pain to me. That's my personal belief structure, and I'm gonna take that to the bank because no matter how bad anything gets, it happens for a reason, and everything's gonna work out okay. And here's my life experience that happened to me in July. I got stricken with I had really, really bad gallstones, and apparently, according to the test results that I went into the ER for on July 5th of last year, um, if I had waited any longer, I might not even be here today talking to you. So I went into the hospital, and it was my first really major surgery that I'd ever had, and it was scary for me because I'd never been like knocked out for a procedure before. I was really nervous. Anyway, so I had the procedure, and after 4 days, it took 4 days to get my pancreatitis under control, to where it wasn't so swollen up, and all the uh, all the tests back into normal parameters so that they could actually do the procedure. I went in on July 5th, and I had the procedure done on July 8th. Anyway, so that was done and over with, and I recovered fine. Obviously, look at me. No, I'm just teasing. Don't look at me. I don't want to break your monitor or whatever. Um, but I went through, and after that, I had a slight recovery period. Well, more than slight. It was a few weeks. But during that recovery period, during that 2 weeks that I had my staples in, I had 11 staples in my stomach. The person that I was staying with, who I thought we'd been friends for like 25 years, and they opened up their house to me, and everything was great for like 5.5 months, and then things started getting really strange. I'm not going to go into details about that, but the details that I am going to share with you is that it got so bad emotionally and verbally from this person whom I thought was my friend, that I felt like I was in a abusive situation. So I did my best. I did my best with 11 staples and a 5-pound weight restriction, and I moved out. And I moved out into nothing. So for like 2 weeks last year, I was homeless. I didn't have a mailing address. So I got kicked out. I didn't want to move back in with my mom because that's a whole nother issue that I'll get into later. Not in this episode, but that's a whole, like, probably series of episodes on their own. So I moved out. I stayed with a friend for a week. I stayed with my dad for a week, but the day before I went up to my dad's house, I got the phone call to be able to rent this place, which was an absolute godsend, and it was wonderful, and it was great, and it was awesome, cool. So I moved out, and I got into this place, and I actually got stable. And when I got stable, in August then, I went to the DMV, and I got my driver's license changed. I was taking a trip in September. I had decided that I needed to shake off the negative from everything that happened in July, and that I was going to take off and go for a trip in September. So I went, so in order for everything to match, outward appearance-wise, I wanted to get my my driver's license gender changed. So I went to the DMV with my little script paper that I got from the doctor, hoping and praying and just absolutely hoping that they would accept it. And they did, and I got my driver's license changed. Well, then I went on my trip to far off places, and I took a whole month. I took from September 4th to October 4th. Awesome freaking trip. Let me tell you, I needed it. I was able to get rid of all the negative from the summer and meet cool people and everything. So that was epic. I met my friend I went from here to New Hampshire to Washington, D.C., to Wilmington, North Carolina, to Orlando, Florida, then back to Georgia, and then I came back. It was absolutely an epically awesome time, or whatever. Is that enough adjectives? Anyway, so I went, so I took the trip, and then after I took the trip, after I got back from the trip, I got my Social Security card switched over, which was nerve-wracking, like super, super nerve-wracking, because anything that I put my Social Security number on, I now have to claim as female, otherwise it could be fraud, and blah, 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 and I don't want that. So that was a huge deal. That time period of 2 months, September or July, and then August, September, and October. So that 4-month period in there, or 5-month period if you want to include August, which is the month that I took to get settled into here. If I hadn't left where I was living, I would not have taken my trip in September. If I had not planned to take my trip in September, I would not have gotten my driver's license switched over in August. If I hadn't gotten my driver's license switched over in August, there would have been no way that I would have been able to get my Social Security card switched over in October. So me removing myself from that abusive situation, that horrible, horrible, horrible bad situation that I was in, none of that good stuff, the driver's license, the trip, or the Social Security card, ever would have been a fathomable possibility. So, in closing, I would like to say beyond the shadow of a doubt that no matter what the outcome is right now, you have no idea what that negative hit to you. You have no idea how it's going to affect you with the positive things later until after they happen in retrospect. I mean, this is October to April is what, like 6 months, 6 months, something like that. See, October to November, December, January, February, March, April, 6 months. 6 months it's taken me to realize all the positive things that me being fed up enough at my previous living situation to be considered now. I mean, to have all that other good stuff happen to me, and it's just taken me 6 months to realize that hey, if I'd never moved out, if I'd never been homeless, if I'd never moved out when I did, then I never would have gotten my driver's license changed. I never would have taken my trip. Never would have taken my trip, which in turn got my driver's license changed, which in turn I had to have my driver's license or a state-issued ID to get my gender changed on my Social Security card. So with that said, don't discount the bad as being, oh my gosh, my world is coming to an end. Yeah, it may come to an end. It may be coming to an end at that time, but you have no idea what the butterfly effect is on the future of being able to do stuff that you weren't previously able to do because you were in that situation. All right, so with that said, I'm going to bid you a great day.